Prabhuji, are you able to see Prabhuji?
No video. Yeah.
Prabhuji, no video, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay.
Out of
Yeah.
station. Prabhuji.
Okay. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji's and Mataji's. Thank you, Balgo and Prabhuji, for giving me this opportunity to speak here today. And also, one more thing, if I say any mistakes while speaking this session, please forgive me on that. So now let us start with the prayers. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So today's session will be about Krishna's pastimes from the pastimes of Krishna's entire life, from his appearance to disappearance. So it's in chronological order. So Janmashtami is coming up very soon on 19th. So I decided to narrate these pastimes in chronological order. So without delay, let us start with the advent of Lord Krishna, which we'll understand how Lord Krishna actually decided, and why did Lord Krishna actually decide to incarnate in this in the material world with all his potencies together. So once upon a time, 5,000 years ago, Bhumi Devi, who is the goddess of earth, she felt overburdened by the demonic king's forces on the earth. There was unnecessary military force for the demonic forces to conquer other kingdoms. So she reported this with Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma discussed this with all the other demigods, and they decided to go to the milk ocean to pray to Lord Vishnu. So they all meditated over there, all the demigods along with Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma started meditating with his four heads. So then, after 3 or 4 days, Lord Vishnu sent the message through Brahma's mind. So first, Brahma is the one to get the knowledge, and then Brahma is the one to pass to all other demigods. And this is how it happens all the time. So Lord Brahma, he got the message that Lord Vishnu will soon be incarnating in this material world with all his potencies in the Yadu dynasty. And Lord Vishnu also gave an order that all the other demigods, along with Lord Brahma, should incarnate in the families of the Yadu dynasty to assist with the Lord's plan. So, obeying this order from Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma gave this order and knowledge to all the other demigods. So first, it is relayed to from Lord Vishnu to Lord Brahma, then all the demigods, then the parampara is formed. Now let us go to talking about Kamsa and what happened during the marriage day. So it was the marriage of Devaki and Vasudev. So Kamsa actually who was actually Devaki's brother, he personally took the reins of the horses to farewell her. It is actually an ancient custom in the Vedic civilization that the brother or the closest brother will farewell the wife because she will be going away from the family. So just to make her more comfortable, the brother usually goes along with with his sister and brother-in-law to farewell them. So then while driving the chariot, there was suddenly a celestial voice from the heavens, which is known as Akashvani. It announced, Kamsa, you are such a fool. You are driving the chariot of your brother-in-law, but you do not know that the eighth son of this sister will kill you. So at this time, Kamsa panicked and immediately he became sinful and he decided to kill Devaki right on that spot. He quickly got up from the chariot and he took Devaki's locks or hair and he decided to kill her with his sword. So then Vasudev, being disgusted at this, he thought that he couldn't confront Kamsa in a battle because Kamsa was more powerful than him. But at the time being, let me just save Devaki and we can think about the other children later. So this is what Vasudev did, and he was very intelligent here. So this one move had saved Devaki's life. So he convinced Kamsa to stop killing Devaki, and he gave many valid arguments. He also told that I will present to you the our children so that you will not have any harm, so you can kill them immediately. So then Kamsa was convinced by this one statement because Vasudev was known for his word of honor. So he would always be truthful and he would never break a promise. So Kamsa was convinced by this. So 1 year later, what actually happened was the first child was conceived. So immediately Vasudev, although it was painful for him and Devaki in the heart, he immediately took the child and submitted it to Kamsa. So Kamsa actually he was actually surprised that Vasudev was actually following the order. So then Kamsa told, you may be at ease, Vasudev. It's not this child who will be causing any harm to me. It is the eighth child. So you may go and live with this child happily. So, but here Vasudev was surprised, but he was also not sure that this was Kamsa because demonic people, they are always sinful. They can't do that. They can't do any good activities. So later, after a few days, actually immediately, Kamsa went to imprison both Devaki and Vasudev, and he even killed the first child. So then there must be some kind of change in between this, right? So what is that change? That change is actually Narada Muni's visit to Kamsa. So Narada Muni actually is a space traveler, so he can go anywhere he wants. He's a great devotee of Lord Krishna, and he always accelerates or fulfills the plans of the Lord, assists in the plans of the Lord. So here he was again assisting in Lord Krishna's plan, and he actually was assisting in another way to kill the sixth child, which will be explained later in the session. So Narada Muni came and he gave Kamsa some news, and that was important news for Kamsa, and it was important for Lord Krishna and everyone. So what actually happened was Lord Vishnu was incarnating along with all the demigods and all his potencies in the families of the Yadu dynasties and surrounding friendly dynasties. So after Kamsa heard this, he immediately imprisoned Devaki and Vasudev, and he even started killing the children, even though they were not the eighth child, because he thought that the demigods were being born in Devaki and Vasudev's womb. So he also immediately started killing them. And then he also took over the surrounding dynasties like the Yadu kingdom, the Ankada kingdom, the Boja kingdom. And he was ruling all of those, and he became an undisputed ruler of that place. So he was becoming very sinful. He started all his sinful activities. So at that time, the seventh child was to be born. And Lord Krishna actually told Yogamaya to transfer the seventh child, which is actually Balramji or the Seshanag potency, to transfer Balramji from Devaki's womb to Rohini's womb. So who is Rohini here? Rohini is actually another wife of Vasudev, but Rohini is actually under the care of Nanda Maharaj because Devaki and Vasudev, they've been away and they've been in the jail cell, so nobody was there to protect Rohini. So Rohini was under the protection of Nanda Maharaj. So after this happened, the eighth child was to be born. And in that 8th year, Lord Krishna appeared in the womb of Devaki. And when this happened, Devaki became very beautiful and she had a glowing effulgence. So Kamsa and the gods, they never saw Devaki be this beautiful. So they understood that Lord Vishnu was in the womb of Devaki. And the gods, they were alert day and night for hearing any cry and they wanted to report it to Kamsa as soon as possible. So during this time when Lord Krishna was in the womb of Devaki, all the sages, the demigods, they all came along with Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. They all came, Narada Muni. They came and they were offering prayers to the Lord Krishna in the womb of Devaki. So now, after a year, Lord Krishna was finally to be born. Lord Krishna came out of the womb, and at that time, all the gods, they were asleep and they couldn't hear any cry. And Lord Krishna wasn't crying. He was smiling. He was very happy, and he was adorned. He had necklaces. He had beautiful gold earrings. He had a peacock feather. So this got Devaki and Vasudeva very confused because a newborn child, how could it be so decorated? So that's exactly what they thought. To dispel this illusion, Lord Vishnu immediately appeared in the form of the four-arm form, and Devaki and Vasudeva were composing delicate Sanskrit prayers to Lord Vishnu in his presence. So then Lord Vishnu relayed the message to Vasudeva to what was to be done about the child. So about baby Krishna. So Lord Vishnu instructed Vasudeva to cross the Yamuna river and go into the village of Gokula Vrindavan. There in Nanda Maharaj's house, you should exchange the female baby who was just born and put me in that place and bring the female baby here. So that's exactly what Vasudeva started doing. So he was trying to cross the Yamuna river, but the Yamuna was having a very fast waves, and it had suddenly even Lord Krishna slipped from Vasudeva's hand, and it got lost. Lord baby Krishna got lost in the Yamuna river. So then Vasudeva was panicking there. But then Yamuna Devi, she came, the goddess of the Yamuna. She came and gave back Lord Krishna, and she told Vasudeva ji, please don't be panicked. I just wanted Lord Krishna to play in my waters for a while. So then Yamuna Devi, she gave way for Vasudeva to go across the Yamuna river. And this was actually the Yogamaya potency and also the Sheshanaga potency. So the Yogamaya potency, what it actually did here was it made all the gods and all the gates unlocked. So none of them could see or they could hear Vasudeva walking away to Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, all the inhabitants were fast asleep. All the cowherd men, all the gopis, Nanda Maharaj, even Mother Yashoda, everyone was fast asleep. So this was the Yogamaya's potency. And then the Sheshanag potency, or the hooded snakes, they were here to protect Vasudeva and Lord Krishna while they were walking through the Yamuna river. So both of these potencies were involved here. So then Nanda Maharaj successfully went and he exchanged the babies, but Mother Yashoda didn't notice the gender of her child. So after giving birth, she was very tired from pregnancy. So she did not know whether it was a female child or a male child. So now Vasudeva exchanged the baby and he got the female child back from the through the Yamuna river, and he entered the jail cell and he locked the door. So then, right after he entered the door, the Yogamaya potency started falling off. It went off. So all the guards they awoke, and the female child started crying. So after hearing this, the guards they immediately reported this to Kamsa, and Kamsa immediately came to the jail cell, and he was going to kill the child. But then after he came to the jail cell, Devaki and Vasudev, they were pleading Kamsa to leave this child alone, because the prophecy referred to uh, a son who would kill you, the eighth son. So this was a daughter. It was a female child. So please do not be cruel enough to kill this female child and separate me from her. So Kamsa, even though he was hearing all these pleas from his own sister, he did not take this into account. And he immediately snatched the baby and he was ready to kill her. So then suddenly something unexpected happened. So what was that? The baby slipped from Kamsa and it appeared as the sister of Lord Vishnu, or goddess Durga Devi, the Yoga Maya. So what did she actually told? She actually told, "You fool! The eighth child who was going to kill you has already taken birth somewhere else. Stop your sinful activities and go now." So this is what Durga Devi told. So Kamsa, he became extremely regretful, and he was astonished that the celestial Akashwani could lie to him. So he begged forgiveness from Vasudeva and Devaki, and he let them go. So now, after this, Vasudeva and Devaki were released, right? So Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva, they had a meeting. Vasudeva, he immediately went to the protection of his child, Lord Krishna, even though he was not able to raise Lord Krishna properly. He always wanted to make sure that his child was safe. So there was a meeting between Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva. Nanda Maharaj knew Balramji was Vasudev's son, but he didn't know that Lord Krishna was also Vasudev's son only. So this is actually Vasudeva was warning Vasudeva was warning Nanda Maharaj about an impending danger in the Gokula Vrindavan village, and that was the demonic forces may try to break into the demonic forces may try to break into the village, and they may try to kill children there. So it is best to protect your Balramji and baby Krishna from the demonic forces. So then Nanda Maharaj took this advice seriously, and he took it in consideration. He started praying to the Supreme Lord for protection, and he even thought Vasudeva as some kind of priest or saintly person, because it was like he was predicting the future. So then after this episode, the Putana Vad actually happened. So Putana was a black witchcraft lady who knew the dark art, material arts, and she could shape shift her form. She could become as tall as she wanted or as big as she wanted. She could even kill any child or person in a fraction of a second with her poison. She could do all kind of this witchcraft. And this kind of witchcraft is still prevalent in India, and there are still some people who are practicing this sinful kind of material craft. So then, actually, Putana, she transformed into a beautiful lady, and she came into Gokula Vrindavan. So no one had opposed or stopped her from entering into Gokula Vrindavan and entering into Nanda Maharaj's house. So no one actually stopped her because of her beauty. They thought that the goddess of fortune or any demigod was coming to bless Lord Krishna and Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva. So they couldn't say a word because of her beauty. So this was actually all illusional beauty because it was not real. The real ugliness would have been showed later. So 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 actually, after this happened, Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda, they didn't oppose this lady from going through, and this is because they thought she was like a goddess. So she immediately went to where Lord Krishna was staying on the nearby a rock, and uh, Putana, she actually took Lord Krishna into her hands, and she actually smeared her breasts with some poison so that could kill any child in a fraction of a second if they inhale it. So this is exactly what Lord Krishna was doing, and Lord Krishna was feeding on Putana, and he was drinking the poisonous milk, he also was sucking out the life air from Putana. So Putana was crying loudly, "Stop, stop!" That the entire Vrindavan was shaking with her voices. So after a while, so after all the life air was sucked out, um, Putana, she assumed her original form of a witchcraft lady and a giant witchcraft, which who fell on the ground, and baby Krishna was there on her chest. So we can understand by this, Lord Krishna gives deliverance to any kind of person if they even seek for it. So here Putana, she actually tried to feed Lord Krishna, although not a proper way, but she tried to feed Lord Krishna here. So that is considered as the affection of a mother. So Putana was delivered from this material world, and even she, even if demonic people like her would attain liberation, just think about what would happen if someone who actually endeavored for deliverance or actually practiced Krishna consciousness. So after this, there are many notable demonic incidents like Chakrasura, the card demon, and everything. But it'll be too long to cover all these, so we'll just cover the major topics. So after this, after Putana was actually happened around 1 week from Lord Krishna's birth. So Nanda Maharaj, he thought that Vasudev was some kind of priest because he predicted that the demonic forces would enter and they would try to attack the children. So then after this, Trinavarta, who is actually a servant of Kamsa, he appeared in the form of a whirlwind and he took away Krishna, who was on the kitchen place. And then he blinded the entire Vrindavan with his dust from the whirlwind. So Trinavarta was actually a demon who could shapeshift here. So he took the form of a whirlwind and he made the entire Vrindavan into misty form and into a sandy form, like a sandstorm. So Mother Yashoda, she panicked here because she couldn't see Lord Krishna where she had actually put him. So then baby Krishna saw that Mother Krishna was worried. So baby Krishna, he took hold of Trinavarta's neck and he was pulling the demon down. He made himself more heavy and he was pulling the demon down and he strangled the neck of the demon. So Trinavarta was also dead and he went back to where he was sitting. So after this incident, it's the beautiful Yamala Arjuna story and the tying of Lord Krishna to the grinding mortar. So recently, some gopis, they were complaining to Mother Yashoda that baby Krishna, he was actually entering into their houses and stealing the butter and eating it all. So even though it was dark, even though it's in the darkest rooms, Lord Krishna, baby Krishna still has some kind of effulgence from his necklaces and all those stuff. So Mother Yashoda told, okay, I'll just remove all the necklaces and garments. So then the gopis told, no, no, those are only to decorate him. You leave them. Baby Krishna still has some kind of glowing effulgence like a sun. So just please keep him under control and don't let him into our houses. Then one day, actually, what happened was, Baby Krishna was very hungry. So uh, Baby Krishna was hungry. So he was crying and he asked Mother Yashoda for feeding. So then Mother Yashoda, she suddenly put Baby Krishna down and she ran off to the kitchen to do some work. So then Baby Krishna was very angry here because first of all, he was hungry and Mother Yashoda left him alone and went somewhere else. So secretly, he broke a pot and he started eating the butter and ghee. So when Mother Yashoda came back, she couldn't see Lord Krishna there, and all she could see was a broken pot. So she understood what happened here. So by this, she started looking for Lord Krishna where he was. Baby Krishna, he was very scared here. So he started hiding everywhere. And he started running around. So after 20 or 15 minutes, Mother Yashoda couldn't catch Lord Krishna. So finally, Lord Krishna let Mother Yashoda fulfill her endeavor and she could actually catch him. And that was by Krishna's will. So Mother Yashoda here, she decided to tie Lord Krishna to a grinding motor here. So if she tied him to a grinding motor, she thought that Lord Krishna couldn't go here and there and do mischief. So Mother Yashoda brought some rope and started tying Lord Krishna to the grinding motor. So then so when Mother Yashoda was trying to tie Lord Krishna to the grinding motor, it was always 2 inches short. So all the other gopis, they brought all the ropes from the house, but it was always 2 inches short. And those 2 inches are our endeavor and Lord's desire. So those are the 2 inches which are short. So finally, after a long time, after bringing so much rope, Lord Krishna allowed Mother Yashoda to tie him up. So Lord Krishna was very angry here, baby Krishna, because first of all, he was hungry, he wanted food. Then Mother Yashoda kept him down and she ran somewhere else. Then after I was eating the butter from the pots, she was running around chasing me. And now she tied me to a grinding motor when I'm hungry. It was her mistake only, not my mistake. He was thinking like this. So then Krishna thought that if I cannot escape from this grinding motor, I'll just walk with this grinding motor. So this grinding motor, it's not a small one. So it's very heavy. It weighs a lot of kilograms. So even with this on his back, Lord Krishna was walking like normal. And he came and became stuck in between 2 big twin trees. And these twin trees were the twin Arjuna trees or Yamala Arjuna trees. So the grinding motor got stuck between these 2 trees. So Krishna, with a slight pull, he just pulled the grinding motor out and both of the trees, they fell to the ground. So then immediately out of these trees came 2 demigods who were actually Nalla Kuvera and Manigriva. They were the sons of Kuvera. And in their previous time, they had been cursed by Narada Muni to become trees because of their material activities. This was actually a curse, but it was a benediction in disguise. because they got the chance of associating with Lord Krishna. And they both offered their prayers sincerely to Lord Krishna and begged for deliverance. So when all the cowherd men and the cowherd women, they came to the spot, they heard a loud sound of a tree falling. So they came to the place and they saw that the Yamala Arjuna trees, which had been alive for thousands and thousands of years, they were fell down. Fell down. So these trees, they used to be the tallest trees in the woods. So they were very confused, the cowherd men. They asked the nearby the babies who were playing near Krishna, they asked what actually happened. So they told that Lord Krishna's grinding motor, it got stuck between the trees and he just pulled it and the trees fell down. So the cowherd men, they were just confused. They couldn't believe the baby's words, because how could a month or a week old baby pull down a tree which had lasted for thousands and thousands of years? And so this is why they couldn't believe this. So after this comes the episode of the Akasura Demon. So every day, the cowherd boys, or the gopas, they used to go to the forest and they would go for grazing with their calves. So the small boys, they used to handle the cows, whereas the cowherd men, they used to handle the bigger cows. So the calves were handled by the the small the small boys. So Lord Krishna, along with all his cowherd boyfriends, they always used to go to the forest for grazing. Then they found this kind of huge think cave. So they thought, okay, let's go inside this cave. It seems to be a lot of fun. When Lord Krishna saw the situation, he thought, what are my friends doing? They're all going into this cave, but they don't know that it is the Agasura demon. So this is actually a huge snake which goes and touches the sky. So they couldn't see the end of the tip of the snake. So they thought this was just a cave. So all the cowherd boys, they were going into the mouth of the Agasura demon. So Krishna understood that he had to save the cowherd boys. They were all clapping and going, chanting, and they were all praying to Lord Krishna because they knew that Lord Krishna would protect them. So actually what happened here was Lord Krishna also entered, and immediately he went into the stomach parts and he started punching or hitting vital organs. Then actually Lord Krishna, he grew in size to become enormous, and he killed the Agasura demon in one blow because of his growing in size. So the snake's body was sliced in two halves. So now next, after seeing this Agasura demon episode, Lord Brahma was bewildered because Lord Krishna was sitting and eating, having lunch with his cowherd boys, acting like any other material world person. So Lord Brahma was confused here. How could this be the Supreme Lord who had incarnated from Lord Vishnu? So he was very confused. So he decided he would play a trick, and he decided to steal all the boys and the calves. So when the calves actually went into the woods, the cowherd boys and Krishna, they were having their meals. So the cowherd boys, they were worried. The calves haven't come yet, Krishna. So we are all a bit worried. So after hearing this, Lord Krishna himself, he went into the forest to look for the calves. And then he, because he didn't want to disturb the cowherd boys when they were at lunch. So to do this, he went into the woods and he couldn't find the calves anywhere. When he came back to the picnic spot, he couldn't find any of the boys either. So then he understood what was happening, Lord Krishna. He understood that this was the play of Lord Brahma. So here he understood that he had to show Lord Brahma the real truth. So he Lord Krishna expanded himself into the calves and the boys uh, by his Vishnu forms, the four-armed Vishnu forms. So every day for a year, this happened. So all the cowherd boys um and the calves, they would go back to their mothers and fathers, and their mothers and fathers used to be very affectionate. So this was actually because this was a part of Krishna. So once when the boys came back to their house, the mothers automatically, they felt very affectionate to them more than they were before this incident. And that was because Lord Krishna was these boys. So not only did Mother Yashoda get the motherly affection for Lord Krishna, even all the other mothers in Vrindavan actually got this. So one day when the cowherd men, they were at the top of the mountain, the cows, they started running down the mountain to the where the calves were. So the cow the milk from the cow, then there will be nothing left for them to sell. So the cowherd men, they actually use the milk to sell the products and make a living. So when they were also coming down the mountain slowly, they saw their children, the cowherd boys. So immediately, even the fathers, they became affectionate because this was Krishna. They immediately went to hug them and embrace them. So even the cows here, they were very affectionate to the calves because the calves were also an expansion of Lord Krishna. So Lord Brahma, he was confused a little. Lord Balram. So Lord Balram, he was a little confused here. Why would these fathers and the mothers and the cows, why would they be so affectionate to the sons and calves they had usually? So then he expanded and he understood what happened, and then he understood the power of Lord Krishna. So after this, in within a year, Lord Brahma came back to see the situation. Lord Brahma knew that he was doing mischief, so he didn't want to take that much time, and he came back to the place where he stole the boys and the calves. So he came back in exactly one moment. So 1 moment or 1 second for Brahma is basically 1 year in the material world. So this happened for 1 year, although it happened only for 1 moment for Lord Brahma. So when Lord Brahma came back, he could see all the cowherd boys and the calves still there with Krishna. So Lord Brahma, he was very confused here. He already stole them. How were they here already? So he was pretty sure that he stole them and they were sleeping in the cave. So then Lord Krishna, to dispel Lord Brahma's bewilderment, he raised his hand, and all the cowherd boys and the calves, they became Lord Vishnu's. So then Lord Brahma understood and he begged forgiveness from Lord Krishna, and he was offering prayers to Lord Krishna. So after this comes the Kalia episode. So usually the Yamuna river is very near to Yamuna. Yamuna is very near to Vrindavan. So all the cowherd men, they go there for a living. The gopis, the cowherd men, they all used to go there because it was a very nice place. It had refreshing waters, pure water. But then one time there was the water was getting impure. It was filled with poison, and Krishna understood that there was some kind of demon here. So Krishna swam into the waters and went to where Kalya, the snake with 100 hoods, who was the king of the snakes, was there. So uh, Lord Krishna went there, and Kalya immediately engulfed with Lord Krishna with all his hoods. So actually, then the cowherd boys who saw this, they started panicking and they thought, "Oh no, Krishna is getting he's engulfed by the Kalya demon." So all the cowherd men and all the gopis, they came and they were crying, And Mother Yashoda, she also fainted while seeing this. So then, after an hour, Krishna saw that all of his friends and his mothers and fathers, they were all panicking. So he decided to stop this demon for now. So then, actually, he started dancing. Krishna started dancing on the hoods of Kalia. So here he was telling, I'm sorry, Kalia. I know this is painful for you, but I have to do this for saving my friends and my mothers and fathers. So this was how affectionate Lord Krishna, and his words were so pleasing even to the enemy he was fighting. So Kalia had been shedding tears here, but he was still very angry at Lord Krishna, and he started trying to kill him. So Lord Krishna was still dancing on all the 100 hoods of Kalia, and he was also giving a lot of pain and to Kalia. Then, just when Kalia was on the brink of death, all the Nagapatnis, who were the actually Kalia's wives, the snake wives, they came and begged forgiveness from the Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna. So then, after the Nagapatnis came and they offered their prayers for a long time, Lord Krishna finally let Kalia go. But he gave one instruction: Kalia, you must not come back to this place and pollute the waters here again. So actually, Kalia was here because he was hiding. Kalia was actually hiding from Garuda. Garuda was a snake eater, and there was actually a curse from Shaubari Muni that Garuda couldn't enter the waters of Yamuna. So that is actually why Kalia was residing here in the Yamuna River. However, Lord Krishna gave assurance that Garuda wouldn't be any hindrance for him anymore. So after this, all the cowherd men and the gopis, they awoke from their faintedness, and they were so happy to see that Lord Krishna was still alive and he was coming back to them. Now, after this episode, it was becoming nighttime, and all the cowherd men and all the gopis, they were all very tired. So they decided they would sleep there itself near the banks of the Yamuna River. So then during the night, suddenly there was a great forest fire. So all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they were all very scared, and they were praying to Lord Krishna to save them. So being compassionate to all the residents of Vrindavan, Lord Krishna, he immediately swallowed up the whole forest fire and he saved them. So next, after this happens the wonderful episode of the Govardhan Hill. So once the Nanda Maharaj and all the other cowherd men, they were discussing on worshipping Indra for a puja. So then Lord Krishna actually told, what are you bent? Lord Krishna asked Nanda Maharaj and the men, what are you bent upon doing for this puja? And who is this puja for? So Nanda Maharaj told it was for Indra. And then Lord Krishna told, do not waste time in worshipping these demigods. I suggest you to worship the Govardhan Hill. And so Nanda Maharaj wasn't convinced about this. So after a lot of pleading from Lord Krishna, because of his paternal affection, Nanda Maharaj actually agreed here to Lord Krishna to worship the Govardhan Hill. So the Govardhan Hill was actually a huge hill which is still there in Vrindavan today. It is there even for the Govardhan Parikram. So during the Ramayana time, when Hanuman and all the Vanaras, they were actually building the bridge to Lanka. So at that time, they were all bringing stones for the making of the bridge, right? So then Hanuman, he actually went to the Himalayas and he took up a huge hill, and that hill was actually the Govardhan Hill. So when he was taking that back to Lord Ram for the bridge, actually the monkeys told, we no longer need any material or mountains, so you can put this back where you brought it from. So this is exactly what Hanuman was doing again. But this Govardhan Hill, it was actually shedding some tears because it was actually wanted to be used in the service of the Supreme Lord, but now it has become useless and it was crying. And this is what Hanuman actually felt compassionate for. So Hanuman, he actually took this matter to Lord Rama, and he told that tell this to Govardhan Hill that I will spend all my years in Vrindavan in my childhood playing on this hill. So do not worry. So that is actually the origin of the Govardhan Hill. And Lord Rama, he actually even told that I will tell the Govardhan Hill that I will hold the hill on my left hand pinky finger for 7 days straight. So after Lord Krishna convinced Nanda Maharaj, so after the Govardhan Hill puja, Lord Indra, he became very angry that this puny human baby Krishna, he thinks himself to be the Lord, and he has uh, stopped these men from doing the Indra puja. So he was very angry, and here he sent torrents of rain here in Vrindavan. All the clouds which were meant for destruction of the universe, they came, the Samvartaka cloud and everything. So then, for the protection of the inhabitants of uh, Vrindavan, Lord Krishna himself, he held with his pinky finger, that too on his left hand, which is generally the weak hand, he held the entire Govardhan Hill for 7 days straight for the rains to stop. So after this incident, Indradev, he came after all the cowherdmen and everyone, they dispersed. He came and begged forgiveness from Lord Krishna. So after this happens, the episode of Nanda Maharaj getting released from the clutches of Varna. So during a festival, Nanda Maharaj was actually washing in the Yamuna river. So then suddenly the Varna Dev's guards, they actually pulled him into the water. And then the cowherdmen, they were panicking. They would say, Krishna, Krishna, please save us. Nanda Maharaj has been taken into the water. So Lord Balram and Lord Krishna, they immediately came and they went to the abode of Varna. So Varna Dev, he was the god of the oceans, god of the water. So he actually told the reason for his gods doing it. So he told the gods not to do it again. So actually, it seems that Nanda Maharaj was bathing in the river at an improper and an inauspicious time. So that is why actually these guards, they had arrested Nanda Maharaj and they brought him to Varuna Dev. Hmm. Now, next comes one of the most familiar episode and one of the most beautiful lila. So this is one of the most complicated and the most misunderstood lila of Lord Krishna. So I'm not qualified to speak about this. So there will just be a few photos about this Ras Leela, the Ras dance. So after this, Narada Muni, he actually visits Kamsa again, and he told the whereabouts of Lord Krishna. So now Kamsa knew exactly where Krishna was. He was in Gokula Vrindavan and he was growing up to become a youth. So Kamsa, he sends Akrura here. Akrur, Akrur was sent by Kamsa to bring Krishna to Mathura so that Kamsa would be able to kill him. So after taking this counsel, Akrura started heading to uh, to uh, to Vrindavan to kill to bring Lord Krishna to Mathura so that to follow Kamsa's order. So Akrura here he was very happy because he was a great servant and devotee of Lord Krishna. So within the time of when Akrura was making his journey to Vrindavan, another two demons were killed. And that was the killing of the Kesi demon, who was a horse demon who actually tried to invade Vrindavan, and Vyomasura, who actually pretended to be a cowherd boy, and he was starting to stealing all the cowherd boys from the play. So then Akrura arrives in Vrindavan. So after taking the sand and the footstep of the lotus feet of the Lord, Akrura, he was a very great devotee. So he started praying to the Lord and he started composing prayers to Lord Krishna for deliverance. So Akrura, he was a great devotee. We have to become like him. So on the return journey, all the when Balramji and Lord Krishna, they were going to Mathura, all the gopis and all Radharani, or Srimati Radharani, and all the cowherd men, all the cowherd women, they were all trying to stop the chariot from going to Mathura here because they wanted Lord Krishna and they didn't want Lord Krishna and Lord Balram to leave Vrindavan here. So you can see here all the gopis, they are saying, stop, stop, Akrura, stop. So Akrura here, he was actually cursed by the gopis here, and later it has been, later in the next session, it will be explained where he has been cursed. So because Akrura was taking away Lord Krishna and Balram from the gopis, here he was actually cursed by for upsetting the hearts of the gopis. So the after this, Krishna and Balram they make the way into Mathura and they enter into Mathura. Here he met a washerman who has some fine clothes. But when Lord Krishna had asked the washerman for the clothes, the washerman told, "You certainly are sinful because you are asking the clothes which are meant for the king Kamsa." So then Lord Krishna became very angry here. He immediately, with one blow, he killed the washerman. So the next he went to a hunchback's place. So a hunchback, she was bringing sandalwood pulp for Lord Krishna. So this sandalwood he gave to Lord Krishna. She gave to Lord Krishna, and it was looking very beautiful. So then Lord Krishna, seeing this hunchback woman who was very ugly, Lord Krishna just hit her on the back. He straightened her back, and she became a beautiful society girl. So there were many other instances which were happening before the killing of Kamsa. And then that was the killing of the elephant Kuvalyapida. So this elephant was it was a very huge elephant and it was always being goaded by the master. But Lord Krishna had even killed this elephant. So this elephant was actually blocking the sacrificial arena. So after this, there was the breaking of the bow in the sacrificial arena. So Lord Krishna, he entered this sacrificial arena and he started going for the bow. So in almost every incarnation of Lord Vishnu, there is always a breaking of the bow. For example, in Ramayana, there's the breaking of the bow in Mithila. So even Lord Krishna broke the bow in the sacrificial arena. So this bow, it was actually meant for some other thing in the sacrificial arena. So this bow, it was actually a wonderful bow, and it was very hard to string or break. So even all the waitresses here, all the guards and everyone were also killed in the sacrificial arena. So this information was given to Kamsa, and he was very fearful. So then, finally, directly, Lord Krishna and Balaram were asked to have a wrestling match with Kanura and Mustika. So Krishna himself fought Kanura, and Balramji himself fought Mustika. So here, the cowherd men and everyone from Vrindavan, they also were invited by Akrura, and so they also were watching the wrestling match. But all the women, they were all thought it was an unfair fight, because they thought Lord Krishna and Balram, they were very small when compared to these huge muscled wrestlers. But however, still, even after getting many blows, there was no gap in between the defenses and attacks of any one of them, either Khandra or Mystica or Balramji or Lord Krishna. So they were both expert fighters. So all the four of them were great fighters. And eventually it ended that Lord Krishna killed Kanara, and Balramji, he had killed Mustika. So two great demons were also killed here. So after this happened, Kamsa, he was very sorrowful. Everyone in the crowd, they were clapping. They were clapping very hard. But however, only Kamsa was not clapping here. He did not clap, and he did not comment for a while. He was very sad that these two wrestlers had lost their lives. So he immediately became very angry. Imprison the Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda. Imprison all these Vrindavan inhabitants. Imprison all Vasudev and Devaki. Kill them all. So Krishna was very angry here. He jumped onto where Kamsa was, and he brought him down to the stage, and he started killing Kamsa. So this is the finally where Lord Krishna had actually killed Kamsa, and we will end this session 1 with that. And Hare Krishna, thank you very much. So this is only session 1. So session 2 will be taken shortly, in which we will cover the later part of Lord Krishna's life after the killing of Kamsa. So this is exactly the midpoint of Lord Krishna's life. So Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Ananta.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Very nice run through fast track course. So Krishna book mida covered almost half of the pastimes of Krishna. Very good. You have got very good command on the subject. Even though we know all the pastimes, but Oksari flash like run through the show. Very nice. Thank you very much. When are you giving the next one?
I think next week, Monday, Prabhuji. Monday or the Sunday before that. Before Janmashtami, that is for sure. But
okay. Okay, very good. Thank you. Anybody has any questions to Ananta? Comments?
One more thing, Prabhuji, just please forgive me if I have said any mistakes during the session.
No mistakes. Everything was very apt. Correct. Covered so many points still, even though it's very fast, but covered a lot of stuff. Good. Yeah. Anybody? Any questions?
Prabhuji, that's all your mercy, only Prabhuji.
Prabhupada. Krishna, want you. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Oh, unmute. Okay, Kanish. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Now you can unmute.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat.
Yeah. Very nice
Hare
presentation.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Very nice presentation, Prabhu. Very, very, very nice. And the slides also very, very nice. Very beautiful, Prabhu. I think as Prabhuji mentioned, like you have went off, but that is what you also mentioned. It's really very nice. And I think
Thank you
have
very
a lot
much.
of effort for preparing the slides, Prabhu. Okay. Every slide is so wonderful, Prabhu. Every slide is so wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
He's a very good techie. He does all presentations. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Govardhan Prabhu, go ahead. వినవట్లే మీ వాయిస్ మాట్లాడుతున్నారా?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, go ahead.
Beautiful presentation. He touches so many episodes, important episodes. Really, his voice is so sweet. At this early age, he got so much divine knowledge, and the parents of Ananta Prabhu, they were so fortunate to given birth to this child. Really amazing, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Both Ananta Prabhuji and Balgovind Prabhuji. I was very much pleased his presentation and his sweet voice. Thank you once again, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
Yes, the parents are fortunate, definitely. And he is speaking about Krishna. People are talking about different things, but he's speaking about Krishna. That is the ultimate thing. Yes.
Hare
Inka?
Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Dandat Pranam. Anand Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam.
Dandat Pranam, Mataji.
Your session is very nice, Prabhuji, with good presentation. Wish you and bless you to get more and more souls into Krishna consciousness with your preachings. God bless you, ma. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Ananta, Anna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
As always, I feel so happy. Ananta Goda, one of my gurus. నాకు చాలా గూగుల్ ఫామ్స్ చేయడం ఇంకా ఇలాంటి ఎన్ని నేర్పించిన చిన్న చిన్న బాలగురువు నాకు అనంత. సో ఐ ఫీల్ సో నైస్. అనంత కూడా పెద్దవాడైపోతున్నాడు. వాయిస్ ని ముందు నేను విష్ణుప్రభు అనుకున్నా, తర్వాత చూస్తే అనంత. ఫస్ట్ విష్ణుప్రభు చెప్తున్నారు అనుకున్నా, తర్వాత చూస్తే అనంత. సరే, ఇట్ వాజ్ నైస్. ఇన్నాళ్ళ నుంచి రోజు వింటున్నాము, అన్నిటిని రీక్యాప్ చేసినట్టుగా చాలా బాగా చేశాడు. నైస్ నాన్న, చాలా బాగా చెప్పావు. I'm really happy.
Thank you.
Very good recap. Yes.
It's a very good recap.
Thank you, Mataji. Mataji, you are also my guru, Mataji. So it's kind of like a friend relationship.
Ayyo,
Right,
Nana. So nice, Babu. Recap is very nice.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
God bless you. Krishna bless you. And definitely bless you. But I wish. Right.
Hare Krishna, Inka.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Ananta.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
చాలా బాగా చెప్పాము. ప్రభుజీ కామెంట్ అన్నారు, నథింగ్ కామెంట్, ఓన్లీ కంప్లైంట్ అయినస్ అనంత ఈస్ దట్ since he has covered everything, he has not left anything for us, Prabhuji. So we are comfortable. But now we don't have to speak anything about anything, Prabhuji, I think. So he keeps doing, Prabhuji, like this. And తనకి మాతాజీ ప్రభుకి తెలియదు. ఇంకా ఆయన 8th class 9th class చదువుతున్నాడు ప్రభుజీ అనంత. ఇప్పుడు ఎట్లా ఉన్నాడంటే మంచిగా మీ శిష్యరేఖలు అలా గ్రో అయితే కనుక విల్ బి లైక్ అమేజింగ్ ప్రీచర్ ప్రభుజీ ఫ్యూచర్ లో. అవర్ బ్లెస్సింగ్స్ ఆల్వేస్ విత్ అనంత. అండ్ గ్రేట్ ఎఫర్ట్ బై సుమన మాతాజీ అండ్ పవన్ ప్రభుజీ ఆల్సో అండి. వాళ్ళ ఎఫర్ట్ కూడా చాలా ఉంది ఇతను ఇలా స్పిరిచువల్ గా గ్రో అవడానికి. సో చాలా బాగా చెప్పామా. గుడ్ లెక్చర్ అన్నమాట. నెక్స్ట్ లెక్చర్ కోసం కూడా వీఆర్ వెయిటింగ్ ఫర్ దట్. Thank you.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
హరే కృష్ణ అనంత, చాలా చక్కగా చెప్పావు బుజ్జి. థ్యాంక్ యూ
హరే
సో
కృష్ణ
మచ్.
మాతాజీ.
గాడ్ బ్లెస్ యూ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ మాతాజీ.
ఇంకా
హరే కృష్ణ అనంత ప్రభుజీ.
హరే కృష్ణ మాతాజీ.
చాలా 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 బాగా చెప్పారు ప్రభుజీ. అసలు మొత్తం మాకు భాగవతం అంతా చూపించేసేసారు ఒక్కరోజు, కాసేపట్లో, 1 గంటలో. చాలా బ్యూటిఫుల్ గా ఉంది అనంత ప్రభుజీ. నిజంగా అమ్మా నాన్నకు మేము దండవత్ ప్రణామం చేస్తున్నాం ఇలాంటి బాయ్ ఉన్నందుకు. అనంత ప్రభుజీ వెరీ నైస్. హరే కృష్ణ అనంత ప్రభుజీ. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్.
ఓకే, ఎనీబడి? శ్రీల ప్రభుపాద వల్ల.
హరే కృష్ణ. సారీ ప్రభు, మాట్లాడండి.
గుడ్.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ, దండవత్న. హరే కృష్ణ అనంత ప్రభు, దండవత్న.
హరే కృష్ణ మాతాజీ.
ఎంత చక్కగా చెప్పామంటే నో వర్డ్స్ అనే అర్థం మాట్లాడతాం కదా, దానికి అర్థం నిజంగా ఈరోజు అర్థమైంది. రియల్లీ చాలా బాగా చెప్పాను నాన్న. అది ముందు నుంచి, స్టార్టింగ్ నుంచి కూడా ఏ పాయింట్ ఎంతవరకు అవసరమో అంతవరకు తీసుకొని, నీ వాయిస్ కానీ, నీ కంట్రోలింగ్ పవర్ ఉందే, ఆ స్టడీనెస్, ఆ చెప్పడంలో కూడా ఎలాంటి కట్టుబాటు లేకుండా చాలా స్టడీగా, ఎంతో అనుభవం ఉన్న వాళ్ళు చెప్పినట్టుగా స్లోగా స్మూత్ గా ముందుకెళ్ళాం. అది చాలా బాగా నచ్చింది. చాలా బాగా చెప్పాను నాన్న. అన్ని లీలలు కవర్ చేసావు. ఇన్ని రోజుల నుంచి మాతాజీ ప్రభుజీ చెప్పిన అన్ని కూడా మళ్ళీ రీక్యాప్ చేసినట్టుగా అనిపించింది. గాడ్ బ్లెస్ నాన్న. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ మాతాజీ.
హరే కృష్ణ.
హరే కృష్ణ.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ.
ఉషా మాతాజీ.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ. దండవత్ ప్రణామ్ ప్రభుజీ. రియల్లీ వండర్ఫుల్ ప్రభుజీ. అనంత సుమనా మాతాజీస్ అండ్ పవన్ ప్రభుజీస్ అదృష్టం ఇంకా. And their desire will be fulfilled by because of these children also, really. Because Pavan Prabhu, once he expressed that I want to go to Vrindavan and settle down there only, Mataji please bless me అని అడిగారు నన్ను. నేను అన్నాను అసలు మీరు నలుగురు అంతే, ఇంకా అసలు అందులో అనుమానం ఏంటి, నాలాంటి వాళ్ళు మీకు బ్లెస్సింగ్స్ ఏంటి, ఏజ్ తప్పించి ఏమీ లేదు ప్రభుజీ, మీకంటే నాకు ఎక్కువ. మీరందరూ అంతటి సర్వీస్ చేస్తున్నారు డివోటీస్ అని. అండ్ అనంత is proving that ప్రభుజీ. every lecture whenever he gives, it is wonderful, and people like me, they learn so much. అసలు ఎంత డీటెయిల్డ్ గా చదివాడో, ఎంత క్లుప్తంగా చెప్పాడో, we can understand. Only just he has taken what is to be told in short time. Ananta, you have covered everything. Really means first session I'm telling, whatever you wanted to finish, next session maybe you'll complete, but chala baga cheppavu. It's really in addition to science you are doing this ante, it's only God's grace and Prabhuji's grace. Hare Krishna. Thank you Prabhuji. Chala baga nerpistunnaru. Hare Krishna Ananta.
Hare
God
Krishna.
bless you Nana.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Your desires should be fulfilled, yours and your parents both.
Okay, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Balagovinda Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Ananta Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
చాలా బాగా చెప్పారు అని అందరు చెప్తున్నారు, నేను కూడా చెప్తున్నాను ప్రభు, అందులో డౌట్ లేదు. కానీ మీరు చాలా జాగ్రత్తగా ఉండాల్సిన ముందు అవసరం ఉంది. ఎందుకంటే మీ ఇంట్లోనే ఇంకో కాంపిటీషన్ వస్తుంది నిత్య. వచ్చేస్తుంది ఇంకా 2-3 సంవత్సరాలు అయితే. గాడ్ బ్లెస్ యూ. గాడ్ బ్లెస్ యూ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ మాతాజీ.
దండవత్ ప్రణామ్ ప్రభు. దండవత్ ప్రణామ్ అనంత బలగొంద ప్రభు. దండవత్.
హరే కృష్ణ.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ. దండవత్ ప్రణామ్. హరే కృష్ణ. ఎంత చక్కగా చెప్పావమ్మా నువ్వు. నేను ఆ దేవాది దేవుడు బుక్ 10 days నుంచి చదువుతున్నా, ఇప్పటికి నాకు కంప్లీట్ కాలేదు. నువ్వేమో ఎంత చక్కగా ఆ బుక్ నుండే ఎంత చక్కగా చెప్పేసావమ్మా 1 hour లో. కృష్ణ అది ప్రభుజీ చెప్పారు కదా, ఈ మంత్లో కృష్ణ లీలలు వింటూ ఉంటే బాగుంటుంది అనేసి, అందుకే ఆ బుక్ చదువుతూ ఉన్నాను. కానీ నాది ఇంకా కంప్లీట్ కాలేదు, సగం కూడా కాలేదు. అనంత నువ్వేమో ఇంత చక్కగా చెప్పేశావు. థ్యాంక్ యూ అమ్మా. హరే కృష్ణ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ మాతాజీ. హరే కృష్ణ.
ఇప్పటికి చాలాసార్లు చదివాడు ఆ బుక్ ని.
నీకున్నే వినయము అందు
రంగరిస్తున్నాడు.
హరే చూస్తాం కదా వీకెండ్ ఎంత చక్కగా ఉంటారు మాతాజీ పిల్లలు ఇద్దరు.
హరే కృష్ణ. ఓకే, ఇంకా
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ. దండోత్ ప్రణామ్.
దండోత్ ప్రణామ్ బ్రో.
హరే కృష్ణ ఆనంద్. So
Hare
very
Krishna,
well prepared, very well prepared and very well presented as usual, Anand. So God bless you. All the best, Anand. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
You have school today, Ananta?
No, Prabhuji. Rakhi Purnima.
Oh, you are a holiday. Okay.
Prabhuji, we're in Vijayawada, Prabhuji. So like, even if it's school, I have to skip it.
Oh, okay. I forgot that. Okay. You are in Vijayawada, right? Yes. Okay, wonderful. Inka, anything, anybody? Srila Prabhupada's parents, every other day, ఇంటికి సాధువులను పిలిచేవాళ్ళట, ఇన్వైట్ చేస్తుండేవాళ్ళు. పిలిచి వాళ్ళు వచ్చి వాళ్ళని ప్రభుపాద వాళ్ళ గౌరమోహన్ దేవ్ అడుగుతుండేవాడు, ఏమని, మా కొడుకు రాధారాణి భక్తుడిగా కావాలి అని చెప్పి బ్లెస్ చేయండి అని చెప్పి వాళ్ళు అడుగుతుండేవాళ్ళట. దట్ ప్రభుపాద నోస్. ప్రభుపాద Maharaj is telling that. I'm just quoting Maharaj. I'm hearing a lecture. Prabhupada knows that. వాళ్ళ పేరెంట్స్ ఏం అడుగుతున్నారో. ఏమన్నారంటే, ఇవాళ పేరెంట్స్ ఏమడుగుతారు, సాధువు వస్తే మా కొడుకు డాక్టర్ కావాలనో, ఇంజనీర్ కావాలో, లాయర్ కావాలో, ఏదో కావాలని అడుగుతారు. లేదంటే పెళ్ళి కావాలనో, పెళ్ళి అయితే పిల్లలు కావాలని అడుగుతారు. అవునా? కానీ Prabhupada parents, they were asking for devotee of Srimati Radharani. Exactly. Prabhupada alage ayyaru. So అందుకని పేరెంట్స్, వాట్ ద పేరెంట్స్ వాంట్, వాళ్ళ పిల్లలు ఏం కావాలనుకుంటున్నారు అని చెప్పి మహారాజు ఒక మంచి మాట అన్నారు. తర్వాత ఏంటంటే, ఎందుకు అలా డాక్టరో, ఇంజనీరో, లాయరో ఏదో అయితే ఓల్డ్ ఏజ్లో మమ్మల్ని బాగా చూసుకుంటారు అనేది ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్ కూడా ఉంటుందట. కానీ మహారాజ్ ఏమన్నారంటే, ఇవాళ ఎంతమంది పిల్లలు తన తల్లిదండ్రులను చక్కగా చూసుకుంటున్నారు, వాళ్ళు అనుకున్నట్టుగానే డాక్టర్లు, ఇంజనీర్లు అయ్యారు. అవునా? కానీ ఎంతమంది వాళ్ళ తల్లిదండ్రులని చూసుకుంటున్నారు బాగా? కొంతమంది వదిలేసి అమెరికా వెళ్ళిపోయారు. నీ సావు నువ్వు చావు, కావాలంటే డబ్బులు పంపిస్తా, డబ్బులు ఇస్తే అన్నీ వస్తాయి. సో అక్కడ మారే అన్నారు, ఏమంటారంటే, ఇఫ్ యూ మేక్ యువర్ చైల్డ్ యాజ్ ఎ డివోటీ ఆఫ్ కృష్ణ, హీ విల్ బి ఎవ్రీథింగ్. దాంట్లో అన్నీ ఉన్నాయని చెప్పారు మహారాజ్. రైట్? డాక్టర్ అవుతాడు, ఇంజనీర్ అవుతాడు, చివరికి మిమ్మల్ని చక్కగా చూసుకుంటాడు, మిమ్మల్ని గోలోకం తీసుకెళ్తాడు, ఆయన కూడా గోలోకం వెళ్తాడు. అంటే జస్ట్ బై బికమింగ్ ఏ డివోటీ ఆఫ్ కృష్ణ, ఇట్ ఇంక్లూడ్స్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. ఇట్స్ ఎ కంప్లీట్ పర్సన్. రైట్? అలాగా ఇఫ్ వి మేక్ అవర్ కిడ్స్ కృష్ణ కాన్షియస్, భగవంతుణ్ణి ఇస్తే మనం అన్నీ ఇచ్చినట్టే, లేదంటే ఏమి అన్నట్టు. ఎడ్యుకేషన్, మెటీరియల్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇచ్చాం, డబ్బులు ఇచ్చాం, ఆస్తులు ఇచ్చాం, అన్నీ ఇచ్చాం. నిన్న ఒక న్యూస్ పేపర్లో ఒక ఆర్టికల్, వార్త చదివాను నేను, మతిపోయింది. ఏంటది? తండ్రి కూతురు కొడుకు కలిసి వాళ్ళ అమ్మను మెంటల్లీ రిటార్డ్ ట్రైన్ ఎక్కిచ్చేసి పంపించేశారు. ఎక్కడికో దిక్కు తెలియని చోటు పంపించేశారు. పంపించేసి మున్సిపాలిటీ ఆఫీస్కి వెళ్ళి చచ్చిపోయిందని చెప్పి డెత్ సర్టిఫికేట్ తీసుకుని ఆ పేరు ఉన్న 15 కోట్ల ఆస్తిని ఇద్దరు పంచుకున్నారు. దట్ ఈస్ దిస్ వరల్డ్. తండ్రి కొడుకు కలిపి తల్లిని, లక్కీగా ఆమె బతికి ఉంది. మరి అలాంటి దీనికి అన్నిటికీ ఎక్కడ ప్రాబ్లం, ఎక్కడ పేరెంట్స్ ప్రాబ్లం. అందుకని వీ హ్యావ్ టు బీ వెరీ కేర్ఫుల్ అబౌట్ అవర్ కిడ్స్. సో ఆ విధంగా చూస్తే సుమనం అంతది పవన్ బ్రో ఆర్ వెరీ ఫార్చునేట్ టు హ్యావ్ అనంత అట్ దిస్ ఎర్లీ ఏజ్. ఈజ్ ఇంట్రెస్టెడ్. గుడ్ థింగ్ ఏంటంటే ఇంట్రెస్ట్ చూపిస్తున్నాడు. ఆ తర్వాత ఏం జరిగిందని తర్వాత ముచ్చట, కానీ అట్లీస్ట్ ఈజ్ షోయింగ్ సమ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్. హూ విల్ రీడ్, రైట్? ఫోన్ ఇస్తే దాని పేరు ఏంది, వీడియో గేమ్లో ఆడుకుంటూ కూర్చున్న ఏజ్, అవునా? బయటికి పంపిస్తే ఆడుకుంటారు. బాల్యస్తావత్ క్రీడాసక్త, రైట్? మరి అట్లాంటిది షోయింగ్ సమ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్. ఈజ్ రీడింగ్ కృష్ణ బుక్ మెనీ టైమ్స్, ఈజ్ ప్రిపేరింగ్, ఈజ్ డూయింగ్ presentations. It's a yajna, tapasya. I cannot do that. Whatever he has done, I cannot do that. I don't know that much patience. Covering almost half of the Krishna book in one session, it's a Herculean task. ఎంతో గ్రిప్ ఉంటే తప్ప చేయలేని పని అది. సో he has got a very good grip. He read Ramayana multiple times, Mahabharat multiple times, Krishna book multiple times. Not everybody can do this. ఉంది ఎక్కడో బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ ఎక్కడ ఉంటుందన్నమాట. దట్స్ వై ఇట్స్ ఆల్ హ్యాపెనింగ్. సో అనంత is exemplary for the kids. I don't see many kids like that. Congratulations, Ananta. Continue. May Krishna,
Thank you.
may Balram bless you to give you some strength to continue, because world is outside very dangerous. Hope you will not be carried away by these worldly things. May you continue in Krishna consciousness and preaching. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Any questions? Balaram Purnima. Actually, I forgot actually. Ananta చెప్తున్న విషయం మర్చిపోయి నేను I thought of stop recording. Okay.